Hey you guys, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Unlimited. We broke the news yesterday on social media that Billy Corgan has sued both TNA and Dixie Carter. Now, I didn't come here on YouTube and post a video about it because not much was known outside of he's suing the company. But overnight, we've learned a lot of details on exactly what's going on. Now, like I said, he's not just suing TNA, but he's suing Dixie Carter herself as well. Corgan was under the impression that he was funding the TV tapings for TNA because it would ultimately lead to him buying the company. And now we have learned that Dixie will not sell to Corgan and he wants his money back. With TNA not having the money to pay him back, that's ultimately why he sued. Corgan filed an injunction that is going to freeze Dixie from doing anything with the company. Corgan feels that a few things could happen with this lawsuit. Either he just gets his money back, or it can end up where he does get the company eventually. His end game is that he wants TNA. Now, where freezing the company would be in his favor, TNA is due to pay talent this weekend. And if they don't get paid, their contracts are null and void. Their contracts is pretty much TNA broke their deal of we're going to pay you at this time, and they're ultimately all going to be free agents. Now, if the company is frozen, they can't make those payments and the contracts won't be broken because it is out of their jurisdiction. It's something it's not just that they didn't pay, they weren't allowed to pay. And how this can help Corgan is if they don't pay, they don't lose the talent. If he gets the company, that talent is still there essentially. Because if Corgan gets TNA, he really wants it for having the talent, some of the production equipment, and the TV deals. So if, say, they don't pay and the contracts are broken and all these guys can leave, it's like Billy Corgan's going to get a company that has no wrestlers. Now, Corgan's also filed some sort of a restraining order against both Dixie and her husband Serge, and they're supposed to go to court with a 6-man jury next Thursday, October 20th. Now, as far as who funded the TNA tapings this past week and Bound for Glory, and it can't 100% be confirmed, but if you connect all the different dots, then here's exactly what's going on. Now, Anthem Sports, they're actually the parent company of the Fight Network. And if you remember, I've told you guys before, the Fight Network does own a stake in TNA, and they've actually even spoken with Dixie about taking over and buying the company. Now, according to the Tennessee Secretary of State website, a filing was made on 9/30, the Friday before Bound for Glory, that Anthem Sports actually sent money to TNA. Now, it's interesting because this website also says that only the Fight Network and Aerolux are secured creditors to TNA. And what that means is, in layman's terms, if they do go bankrupt, those two companies will get paid out before anybody else because they're secured creditors. Now you're going to think, okay, well, shouldn't Billy Corgan be on that list? Apparently, Billy Corgan is not on that list, and in Tennessee, he is a personal creditor of Dixie Carter. And like I said, he thought all the money he was putting in was going towards TNA, and it rightfully might have been, but it was going from Dixie to TNA, not straight into TNA for some odd reason. Now, like I said, we can't confirm this 100%, but it looks like the Fight Network and their parent company, Anthem Sports and Entertainment, are the ones that paid for Bound for Glory, as they did send them money on 9/30, the Friday before Bound for Glory. And it's going to be interesting because from what this says is they only really gave them enough money to run Bound for Glory and that week's tapings. And because of the hurricane and all the storms, they actually had to stay in town an extra day. So essentially, staying in town that extra day took up some extra fees, and it was less that they could put towards other things other than the tapings. So this is all going to be hashed out within the next week, I hope. It, like I said, the lawsuit's supposed to, the court hearing, I mean, for the lawsuit is supposed to take place on the 20th, next Thursday, and we'll know exactly what happens with Billy Corgan. Maybe they'll reach settlement or some sort of agreement before next week, but it's just he had to take these measures because Dixie was giving him the runaround. He thought, like I said, the money was going straight to TNA. No, it was going to Dixie, then to TNA. So this is all I know kind of confusing. I know I'm still a little confused about this, but if you really sit down and think about it, Billy thought he was paying for the tapings so that way he can keep the company alive and it would all go towards what he's going to pay to buy the company. When he finally realized, you know what, that's not going to happen, he pulled the trigger. He said, "Give me my money back." When they said, "We don't have it," he took legal action. And if you're asking, well, who are they going to sell the company to now? As of right now, Dixie has stopped all sale talks as far as I'm concerned. From everybody I've talked to that has some sort of a no, they've said Dixie right now isn't talking to anybody. If any more news does come up on TNA and the lawsuit from Billy Corgan, we will bring it to you here on Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, guys, comment below, like and share this video, like us on Facebook, and subscribe here on YouTube.